acquaintance be forgot. We woke up the cat.
I don't think I like that.
Happy New Year, everybody. I hope it's starting off strong and you're starting it off with us. Welcome to You Haven't Seen That Podcast, or YHST for short. I'm Isaac.
I'm Elva.
And this is a show where we cover movies on that growing list of films. And as people asking us the question, you haven't seen that? We have a couple movies to cover for you. I hope you enjoyed our end of the year wrap up yesterday. A little bonus special episode.
Mm-hmm.
Fun to do.
Yeah, always fun.
It's time warpy. We haven't recorded it yet. Is that weird?
They don't need to know that.
I know, but it's fun because it's like, well, I don't get it. Anyhow, welcome. If you're new here, if you haven't done so already, follow us on social media at
YHST Pod
on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And there you can like, share, subscribe, and all that other fun stuff. If you love what we're doing, you want to show some love, you can also do that on Venmo at
YHST Pod.
At YHST Pod and other places. We appreciate it. We love you. We mean it. Let's go to the New Year strong by talking about 3 big movies. Well, yeah, you know what? Relatively big. We're covering Hamnet, The Housemaid, and Avatar: Fire and Ash. But before we do that, we're going to go into news. After we hit the news, we're going to kind of change our little format.
We changing things up.
Yeah, so we're going to do, after the news, we're going to give you our bite-sized review of all 3 movies all at once. So then that's your pause points in case, you don't want any spoilers. You can then go see those movies, come back and join the conversation. Because, we're going to be talking about some shit. So let's go ahead and get started and informed on all the things going on in movies, Hollywood, and entertainment with a humble little segment that we simply call YHST News. Oh, you had your eyes closed jamming to the music. I had my hand waved at you so you can say it with me. Now I felt alone and stupid.
Sorry.
Go ahead, kick it off. Whatever.
Spider-Man brand.
Dear Lord. And it's funny, I wanted to drink on this episode.
No, because I want to say brave, but it's brand. Spider-Man Brand New Day has officially wrapped filming.
Full stop.
Gulp, gulp.
Gulp, gulp, gulp. What are we, Tyso? James Gunn has announced German actor Lars Eidinger, I didn't practice it, as Brainiac in the new Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow, beating out Matt Smith and Sam Rockwell.
Amazon's God of War adaptation gets an official multi-season order with Shogun director and is now in pre-production.
Nice. After the success of the It series Welcome to Derry, clocking in an impressive 20 million viewers globally, Season 2 and 3 has been confirmed by the creator, but has not been greenlit by HBO.
Oh.
But if they do go forward with it, Andy Muschietti, the creator, he wants each season to go back another 27 years.
Okay.
How about that?
I love that
series.
The Oscars are leaving ABC and moving to YouTube. The Oscars will start streaming for free in 2029.
Whoa. Kevin Smith has cast Helen Mirren as a sort of replacement for the late, great Alan Rickman in the upcoming Dogma 2. Helen Mirren won't be playing Metatron, Alan Rickman's character, but a character that would be this movie's version of Metatron.
YouTube permanently shut down 2 channels for using AI to create deceptive fake movie trailers that misled millions of viewers. Dun, dun, dun.
Brad Pitt has been in talks to have a role in Matt Reeves' The Batman 2, possibly playing Dr. Arkham. And Scarlett Johansson, as we previously mentioned in a couple of news ago, she was also cast in Matt Reeves' The Batman 2, but now her role has been confirmed to be Gilda Gold, Harvey Dent's wife.
Interesting.
I don't know if you were legitimately interested.
Yeah, but I was mid-gulp.
Yeah. So there you go. You've been informed.
That's the news.
You're welcome. And I mean it. I don't know what that means. All right, so let's go down the line, starting with The Housemaid, then Hamnet, and then Avatar: Fire and Ash. Alba, let's kick it off with you with The Housemaid.
All right. I did not know that it was a movie book adaptation. Amanda Seyfried's performance was amazing. It's giving a little bit of reverse Gone Girl.
Ooh. Full stop? We
need full stop. Yeah, sorry, full stop.
We need to figure out a signal word, a hand signal.
I'm looking at you, and you're just like...
Throw the cat at me when you're done. God, we suck. Again, we're doing this for free. No, same. Amanda Seyfried's performance, just to echo what you said, it gave me PTSD. Sydney Sweeney is a little bit of like a two-note actress, but I know that the movie wasn't targeted towards me. I still had a fun time with it for what it was, and Sydney Sweeney's not bad to look at. So, if you're a husband and you're getting dragged to this, there's something for you in it. All right. That being said, next, Hamnet.
Stunning performances by the whole cast. It was a great visual representation of being a mother and dealing with grief, and also a little bit of a backstory with that character, like the whole story. Like, it is also a book, but it was a great way that the book went into the movie, and I think Chloe Zhao did such a great way to do all that.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect from this movie, and what we got was something that was near breaking the mold. Performances, like you said, were really good, but on the emotional aspect of it, and I was really surprised which character we actually are seeing the story from, their point of view, their perspective. And at a certain point in the movie, there is a crescendo, a peak, and at that point, the movie just emotionally had a hold of me, and I was not okay at the end of the film. To the point where the audiences had to
bring tissues.
No, the audience was paused. Nobody moved.
Yeah.
And it's going up there on my top couple, favorite movies of the year. Blew me out of the water.
Oh, definitely.
I will say though, it's a little bit of a slower watch than all the things that are currently out, but it reminds me of this is what movies are for. They had an art form like this to elicit these really profound emotions. Extremely impressed by it. And next, Avatar, Fire and Ash.
The visuals, absolutely stunning. I thought it had great action sequences, but my only thing with the movie is the story. That was it. That's all I have.
Yeah, needless to say, this is a technological feat. No one's ever going to watch these movies or this movie in particular and say it looked bad. I mean, it blurred the line from what is CG? I mean, even the humans looked faker than the actual CG cat people. But it does follow similar story beats, and it makes it a little mundane in that storytelling aspect. There's a lot of storylines to cover, but because it just retreads those things from The Way of Water, it feels extremely familiar, which makes those 3 hour and 20 minutes a bit more of a task than anything else. As Elvis said, the action sequences are beyond amazing to watch, and there's a lot of them, so feel free to be set for that. And there's also a lot of moments where you can go up and get pee and snacks.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Okay, so now there's your pause point. Go watch those movies. Come back. Let's spoil some shit for you.
Okay. Yeah, let's do this.
All right, let's go back to The Housemaid. This is directed by Paul Feig, starring Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried, and I think a new favorite actor of mine, Brandon Sklenar. Sklenar? I'm making it more fancy.
Skinner?
As you said, adapted from a book series published in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did I have no expectations, I'm kind of lying. Just from the trailer, I go, oh, all right, this is the wife is kind of crazy. We kind of know where it's gonna go, but there are some twists and turns toward the end that did make me kind of sit upright.
Yeah, I didn't know it was being adapted from a book. So when you're like, oh, let's go see this one, I was like, is it going to be one of those crime movies or something? So I was like, well, whatever, let's go.
I'm hearing that the fans of the books were really impressed by this.
Yeah. I think I told you the other day that it's one of the, at least 1-to-1 with the book.
A faithful adaptation.
Yeah. Of course, even the parts that they did change, the readers and the fans of the book were
they're okay with it?
They're okay with it.
Yeah.
I haven't read the book. I've seen the book, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together because there's always there's a book that's named the same thing, and then there's a movie. So, and it wasn't advertised
from best, 2022.
Book. Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I could do without Sydney Sweeney though.
So okay. I'm gonna be a guy for the next 5 minutes. Okay. First, I'll be a movie critic. Her acting is, like I said before, 2 notes. Mm-hmm. When she's the sort of calm, mumbly ditz, it's hard to watch. And she's been that in a lot of her roles. Mm-hmm. But then there's this like complete opposite end of that where she is in a suspense movie, she's in a horror film, she's screaming, she's hyper emotional. But I feel like there's no middle ground. And that's what makes it hard to watch. But to be a guy for a moment, there are aspects of this film that there's some, physical attractions to certain characters. And once those take place, Sydney Sweeney puts her best assets on display, and I don't mind I don't mind watching the movie.
I was not expecting that.
But it's the art department, the costume department, really strapped those things down for the first act of the movie, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then as the movie progressed, and there's more to see, and I'm like, okay, yep. My lizard brain's activated, and I'm in full attention.
Yeah, going back, like,
not, you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna be more of a dude. Everyone looks great in this film. Mm-hmm. Amanda Seyfried is stunning, and then the scenes with Brendan Sklenar, whatever. Sweet baby Jesus, can I just be in the chair in the corner?
Dude, I feel like this is like one of the movies where, because he was in It Ends With Us.
Okay.
And I felt like he was a little bit like underused in a way.
Too clothed?
I don't know. I didn't read the book to know exactly what happens, but
is there a job to be like the oiler, the baby oiler?
Right. Sign me up.
You get top, I get bottom. I'm always the bottom.
So yeah, no, I felt like he had more range in this movie than when he had in any other roles, and it kind of showed a little bit more, especially how he was a little bit like not deceiving, I guess, like, in a way deceiving the Sydney Sweeney's character to think like he's a certain way. But the whole movie itself, I was like, oh my God, Amanda Seyfried's character and how she was acting and taking it like above and beyond was what got my attention with it.
And in a minute, I'll kind of go more on like the twists and turns and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, now when I'm thinking back on it, those little Easter eggs, or those crumbs rather, that they left for us in their performances, like everybody, well, Amanda Seyfried and Brandon Sklenar were like top wonderful people. Mm-hmm. And namely Amanda Seyfried being this frantic sort of bipolar-esque housewife.
Yeah.
Dude, absolute PTSD from knowing people like that are running hot and cold and saying one thing and then doing another and tricking you and gaslighting you. And I'm like, I'm angry and I'm so uncomfortable, and I'm waiting for her, to hit her end. Mm-hmm. And so when certain things happen, and I'm not going to completely spoil the movie, but when certain things happen in the film and, certain people get their comeuppance, I'm like, yeah, that's right. And now to kind of talk more on the story and the twists and turns. And then the last like 20 minutes of the film are another turn from another perspective, that it was good and it was needed and it was interesting. But momentum wise, I had a little issue with it because it's not a long movie. I think it's like a 2-hour movie. Once like the first part where everyone's predicting all the things to happen. Mm-hmm. Once that part sort of ends, I'm like, all right, cool. That's a wrap, right? This is the end of the movie. So I was already mentally kind of, all right, I'm set. I'm done. Great, cool, happy ending. Mm-hmm. And then that twist happens. And it wasn't like, here's a 5-10 minute flashback. It was like, here's a whole chunk of like 20 or 30 minutes of the movie left to tell that part of the story. And I was kind of like, oh, all right, well, all right, fine. I'll recline my seat back again and watch the rest of this. And okay, this is really interesting. I see where it's going now, but let me just see it play out.
I think also the way that happened can go if they decide to do a sequel, because there is a second book. So I don't, that's the thing. Like, I kind of wanted to read the book so I could be like, okay, maybe it is in the book and that's how it was, to like leave it in a way so it can continue.
I'd be interested to know that.
Yeah. So like once I found out that it was a book, that's where I was like, okay, maybe the ending it did that, what you were just explaining, but it also left it in a way where it picks up in the following. Mm-hmm. So I just don't know.
My brain was going to go somewhere that was like, I don't know, it wasn't even related to what you were talking to, but this is me. I'm not going to edit all this, but so I'll leave it in. But to be a guy for a second, like my mental momentum was carrying me into, I'm not Mr. Skin. You familiar with Mr. Skin? The guy that like knows when the nude scenes are in all the movies. It does men and women. All I because I'm not going to read the book and I'm not the target audience, but I'm like, the sex scene in this is so fucking steamy. It is probably like the top 2 or 3 hottest sex scenes that we've seen in all of our 68 or 69 movies this year, up with Caught Stealing with Zoe Kravitz and Austin Butler. Like, where I'm, there's been other like sex scenes and movies that we've seen. We go, oh, God, this is just awkward. This is weird. Are they done yet? And this one was like, whoa, dude.
I'm over here thinking, I'm like, what other movies had those scenes besides Caught Stealing? Like, I'm really trying like to think, and none of them pop out. Yet again, I'm
Hamnet. There's a sex scene in Hamnet. It's not sexy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But that one's like kind of like the innocent, like, here we go. Like,
it's not romanticized.
Something that would be done in like a TV show or something. That's it. That's my endpoint. I found $5. Like, I don't have anything else.
But yeah, no, so I can easily recommend this movie. Even if you're just streaming it at home. I will say that was what was fun seeing it with the audience, and it was all fucking the book talk girlies or whatever, is like everyone either knew the book or just was like hooping and hollering.
Oh, so at first that kind of in a way annoyed me because I was just like, why are you guys? And then I was kind of
some
thinking,
chick at the fucking far back's like, yeah.
And so that kind of annoyed me because like you're going to the movies, but even if it's like a book and you're going for that, like still have a little bit of like theater etiquette.
Sure, yeah.
But it wasn't until like I think later on in the movie I'm just like, yeah, no, I understand why you're doing this. All right, let's go.
Yeah, it makes more sense now. So go watch that movie. All right, up next, Hamnet. Now let's slow it down. Let's put our pants back on. Throw some cold water on our faces because this is a more emotional movie.
And I think this is the one that I wanted to see.
Yeah.
I
think we talked a little bit about this on Kill Bill.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, right? I'm not quick to go run to movies where it just, I will judge a book by its cover because a lot of times we don't have all the time in the world to see all the movies that are releasing that weekend. So we have to pick and choose. And I'm not quick to run to go see a movie that seems, not as flashy as, all these other movies, Avatar and I was going to say Bridesmaids, Housemaid. But when you suggest it, I go, great. At least one of us wants to see it. So one of us has to, lack of better phrasing, drag the other one to go see it.
I had to really decide which, because I had I think 3 movies that I wanted to see. And I know 2 of them were Eternity and Sentimental Value, and of course Hamnet.
Yeah.
So I had to decide which one do I want to see, which one deserves to be seen in a theater that works within our time frame and everything. Like,
True,
of course, our schedule. And because I love English literature and like William Shakespeare and all these other things, I was like, I have to see Hamnet. Like, the other 2 are fine. I can watch them later. Maybe I can go throughout the week without you to watch them, or maybe we can make time. But this one needed, like, it was one of the ones that, like, we're gonna go.
And I'm glad that you did.
I did not want to cry alone in that theater.
I didn't know what to expect other than it was a story of like the origins of Hamlet and it's the day in the life of William Shakespeare. But what this movie did was something completely different. It beautifully looked great, but there wasn't anything that stood out that was so notable, like any kind of camera movements or symbolic cinematography. It was, for the most part, pretty standard just to look good, right? And in that, it enhanced the sort of monotony that was needed in the storytelling. And I don't mean that as a bad term, monotony, because it is about the day in the life of the family of William Shakespeare. But this movie tells it through the point of view of his wife, Agnes, who is wonderfully played by Jessie Buckley. And of course, Shakespeare played by Paul Mescal. It's Mescal.
Whatever.
Look it up.
Okay.
Look it up.
I'm not looking
I'll pause.
it up. I don't want to
look it up.
Whatever.
And it starts off slow. No one's name is really introduced other than Agnes. And I thought it was so smart to, when they actually say his name, William Shakespeare, in the later part of the movie. But it's clunky. Their interactions are clunky and organic. The way that people would actually normally interact. And it took me by surprise because I'm thinking, well, this is William Shakespeare. He's a man of many words. He's poetic. He's romantic.
Oh, yeah.
But he's just a regular guy who happens to be passionate about his art form. And any regular person passionate about the art form also has their 9-to-5 job. And maybe they're good in that art form when it's pen to paper, but it doesn't come off the top of their head. And there is a part in the movie where he says as much, where he's stumbling on his words when they're first he's courting Agnes. And she says, well, then tell me a story if you like stories. And he then proceeds to tell her the story of
Eurydice
and Orpheus. And if no one's familiar with that, do you remember the details of that? Eurydice dies right after the wedding. She goes to Hades, to the underworld.
Yeah. Orpheus can't live without her.
So he goes to the underworld as well. But the Hades or whatever bargains with him, says, you can take her with you, but on the trip back, you cannot look back. You can't hear her footsteps. You don't exactly know if she's behind you, but if you look back, she'll stay with me. She'll stay in the underworld forever. And it's a beautiful story of love. I'm not doing it justice, but in that scene when Paul Mescal as Shakespeare tells that story, that's when he becomes emotional, and that's where that romance lies. And he's a man of stories. And that comes to play a part way later.
Oh,
surprisingly, way later in the film, when it needs to, when dealing with the tragedy of Hamnet, his son.
So when I went into this movie, I thought this was going to be like a Hamlet.
Oh, the actual story of Hamlet.
Yeah, because of how it, once it opened, it's these two, right? And I'm just like, okay, so you have all these people in here and everything, but the way it opened is what gave me that, where are we going? Because in Hamlet, there's Ophelia, and she gets betrayed, and the person she is going to marry or something goes, no, and then kills the father and everything, and then she goes and basically dies of broken heart in the little river. So when this movie opened, I was like, is this the character that we are following? But it took me through a loop with everything. I didn't know where we were going. I'm like,
yeah, same.
Here we go. But
but I was intrigued.
Yeah, the opening sequence and everything.
Which, by the way, is like a top-down shot of Agnes. So it's like the movie's telling you, this movie's about Agnes.
Yeah, but the way also, did you notice how she was laying? Kind of how...
In a fetal position.
Yeah. So I'm just like, oh, motherhood, because you're out in nature.
She's sort of, not Wiccan, but...
She has she basically was...
This movie does toe the line of supernatural, too. Nothing outright, crazy happens, but she has her predictions or feelings. And,
yeah.
One with nature.
But also, throughout the whole movie, she stays with the beliefs of being more on the holistic side.
There you go, yes.
Of everything.
And it doesn't fail her. Well, for the most part, it doesn't fail her.
And I feel like it fails her, later on in the movie. But the only reason it fails her is because when she gave birth, it wasn't with nature.
Oh, that's correct, yeah.
So with the first birth, she basically writes a letter. She I know.
That was a crazy scene.
She's like, I know. And then she goes, but she was one with nature. And also,
she didn't need anyone there to help her through it. She got it because she knew she was backed by nature.
And also the connection of her and her mother, because her mother, Agnes's mother, was the same way, holistic and everything. And of course she died giving
childbirth.
Yeah. But I think that connection where she had the twins, which is which one would be Hamnet. She knows that she needs to go out to nature, back to the place, and doesn't. And you can tell there's that difference. There's that heartbreak of wanting to be. And I think that was the line that completely and utterly broke me.
There's a couple of parts in the movie that broke.
No. But that was the...
Yes. I'm just saying.
No, that was the one that just stabbed me in the heart and twisted it. She's in such agony and this pain, and she's being forced to give birth in this room.
At the peak of that too, when... Again, I don't want to utterly spoil anything, but one of the babies kind of seemingly doesn't make it, and it's this intensity, suspense in the air, and then baby does live, but from that point on, then the movie starts to take a hold of me because it's now about it's obvious now it's about the kids, and so then you stick with the twins, and tragedy strikes. Then I won't go into detail with that, but at that fucking point is when the movie goes, all your heartstrings, we're going to grab them, we're going to tear them apart, and you're not going to be okay from this point on. And what they do specifically is they deal with grief from the mother's perspective, albeit a mother that wants to be in touch with nature and has to be okay and try to accept this, but also has to be okay. And by the way, there's a certain point, a good chunk of the movie where they are a happy family, and they make sure to illustrate that they're a mundane, regular, holistic, nature-loving, happy family. There's not one thing wrong. She's a supportive wife. She wants Shakespeare to go do his thing. She lets him travel to England, and that's okay. And that she's teaching the kids all the holistic stuff, and he's okay with it. Even though he comes from a family that were very Catholic or from the church, Protestant, excuse me. And so when ultimately death befalls their family, they have to deal with that in their own sort of respective perspectives and religions and beliefs as a family and everything. And it is so, going back to that word, organic, and it's heart-wrenching. I feel like I'm not seeing actors, I'm seeing these characters, how they process the tragedy that's befallen them. God damn it, man, it fucking got me. It got me so bad, because it was like her grief, and then his grief, and then the rest of the family's grief, and these things, like the 12 steps of grief that, not to go too deep into it, but are very, very familiar in my own life. And so as certain things are playing out, I'm imagining events like that have happened in my life, and I'm fucking crying as it's happening. And although a lot of stuff is very, very organic to like how people would actually react, but it is still a movie, and so things need to be symbolic and need to sort of maintain that momentum. And so it's so artfully done. Like I said earlier, they never say William Shakespeare's name until the very end. Mm-hmm. And I want you guys to go see the movie as to why, why they didn't need to do it early on. It maintains this particular energy so it's as to not take away from the actual key things of the story and these events. Mm-hmm. And I'll end it with this. I'll end my part with this. When the last, 10 minutes of the movie progress.
Oh, fuck that.
I'm done. I'm fucking sobbing. I'm in tears. And like I said earlier, and I'll expand on it a little more, the movie ends. It's beautiful. It's heart-wrenching. I'm in tears. I feel and hear everyone else sniffling and crying and holding back the right. Credits, directed by Chloe Zhao. Not one fucking person moved. Not even an attempt to move. It was dead silent other than the credits that were playing. And I didn't even move. You didn't move. Because I needed a moment. And so when I went to go ask you, like, hey, do you want to go now? I heard myself asking, hey, do you want to? Oh, God, I need a minute. Do you need a minute? Okay, I need a.
Dude, I was kind of pissed at you because I still needed an extra minute.
Oh, I know.
I needed that extra, because here's the thing. People were leaving and everything, and I felt like I'm just like emotionally. I went through these 5 stages of grief with these characters.
Did I say 12 stages?
Yeah, we're not doing alcohol here. We're doing the 5 stages of grief. And I went through every one of them, but every one of them hit very specific for me. Mm. Like, I'm just like, this is it. This is the movie that just destroyed me. Like, any other movie that I said that I've cried in this whole year, that is nothing compared to this one that had me utterly, emotionally just, even to this day,
obliterated.
Yeah, even to this day, when I was looking up stuff for this movie and everything, people talking about it, I'm just like, no, I still feel this damn fucking movie in my fucking bones. But not just that, but also Max Richter, the composer to this. Oh my God, the way he used music throughout the whole movie, it spoke to me in different levels. It's very rare that music will hit. Oh, it's not very rare. Music will hit me. Songs will make me cry and stuff like that. But there are a very small portion, like a very small list,
that will reach into your fucking soul, rattle your marrow.
Yes. And it's like, what was the...
Tickle your taint.
Max Richter's on the Nature of Daylight. That one, which was in the movie, majority of the movie, that is now added to my list. But also, what is it? The Pas de Deux by it's in the Nutcracker.
Tartovsky?
Hold on.
You owe me $5 if it's Tartovsky. Tchaikovsky.
There you go. That song, the Pas de Deux, is also about his grief, about losing his sister, and how he composed that song. And in that song, towards like the crescendo of the song, the piccolo, it just gives you the emotion he's feeling through it all. And that's what this movie did. It was like basically that song in movie form for me. I'm just not going to recover for a couple minutes, and we're just going to hope that we're going to be fine.
So you would recommend this movie to people is what you're saying?
100%.
Lastly, before we jump into Fire and Ash, to expand on our emotional moment, you're right. We should have sat a little longer, but I have not ever experienced that. I mean, I know I've said like I sobbed at Endgame, but I was like, there was then in that moment, and then there's the resolve at the end of that movie. But this one, because all the heartbreak happens at the very end, I'm like, oh no, I don't have time to recover. I'm still very much feeling it, like you said, in your soul. And as we're walking out, I couldn't speak for fear of just breaking down. I had to like literally suck the tears back in. I had to take a breath. Dude, we walked down the hallway. I was not okay. We hit the fucking escalator. I still wasn't okay.
The girl that was walking in front of us,
Yeah.
She basically booked it to the bathroom because I could hear her go, right? And I'm just like, girl, I am right there with you.
Oh, man.
But I don't cry in public. You know this. But this one, I was just like, I have no shame. Like, let me just cry to the car. And then when you tried talking to me, once we got up the escalator, I'm just like, can you just shut the fuck up?
It was those moments
I don't want to talk right now.
You ever had those moments where like something hits you and then you go like, we were both like, yeah, yeah, it was really good.
To be honest, I could have cried a little bit more after the movie too.
Let's rewatch it again.
I'm down.
All right, let's jump into Fire and Ash. Episode's running a little long, so we're gonna nutshell it, but for the most part, obviously directed by James Cameron. This is a $400 million movie. This is the third installment in the Avatar franchise, but it does serve as a act 2 to The Way of Water. And I wish I knew that going in, because I could probably critique it a little bit differently. But that being said, like we said in our nutshell, it retread all of those old beats. It did introduce some new lore,
Yeah.
right? A new tribe that actually was anti-Awa, the sort of, Mother Nature, all the what the hell are they called? The cat people? Na'vi. Yeah, that they believe in, right? So that was the most interesting part of the movie. Outside, on top of Quaritch, played by Stephen Lang. If you guys don't remember, in the first Avatar he dies, in the second one he comes back in an Avatar body, and so now he's like given this new arc outside of just being that regular 2-dimensional character, and now he's like, sort of him and Varang, played by Una Chaplin, the granddaughter of Charlie Chaplin. Mm-hmm. Their character dynamic is like the antithesis of Neytiri and Jake Sully, which is so fun, power couple.
Yeah.
But that and a few other things that happen, I won't completely spoil it, but some things were just straight up like a MacGuffin, just like a thing to move the story along that was so kind of like, yeah, really, even in this alien world, like that's a thing. Okay, I'll learn to accept it because the movie's just fucking beautiful to look at, right? I mean, how many times are these people going to get captured? The kids got captured like a total of like 4 times now, and then Jake Sully gets captured. I mean, everyone's getting captured. Keep adding
another one, and then you keep getting exiled.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so we're just going to keep exiling every movie. And here's the thing. This is the second Avatar movie that I've seen. Mm-hmm. Okay, I did not see the first one. I've only went into the second one and this one. And I felt like I would have been just fine with the second one if it was just like a standalone.
Totally.
The story on this, I felt like they ran out of like ideas, and they're like, well, if we kind of reuse this and stuff, or
some things were repackaged. And so, I know when we were talking about it on our drive home, we were like, God, this is all the same thing. And then the more I sort of jotted my notes down, there were a big handful of differences, but those things were then repackaged into those old beats in the same, literally the same fucking parts of the movie as part 2.
Yeah.
And is Zoe Saldana ever gonna play Neytiri as like not angry and crying and yelling all the time?
I don't know. I felt like this movie was like you ask your friend, "Can I copy your homework?" And your friend goes, "Yeah, go ahead, but change some things around so it doesn't seem like you just copied off me."
Right. So what I'm trying to say is that metaphor holds up to a certain extent because it's the momentum, it's the structure, the format that they copied from Way of Water. Meaning to say that this movie didn't take any risks. Namely in that at the end of Way of Water, there are a handful of things that happen. There are deaths. There are arms lost. There's so much happening. And then when part 3 picks up, which is almost immediately after Way of Water, everything's all fine and dandy. There's no consequence. You know what I'm saying? There's no payoff.
Picking up the pieces from the before.
Yeah. No one's like learning after that. It pissed me off that James Cameron, who's known for making amazing movies, and again, visually fucking stunning movies, that he played it safe, that he doesn't have anyone to say, hey, maybe we should change something like that because it's kind of looking like part 2, you know? Then that's where my only critique is. Is it a fun movie? Absolutely. But 3 hours and 20 minutes is a little tough to watch when you can predict it. Nobody wants to watch a predictable movie. It's fun action. It's fun to look at. That's completely fine. The story's not terrible. Story's not bad.
The momentum of telling the story.
The story is good, but for a $400 million movie, the story needs to be great.
Yeah.
So James Cameron had said it himself that sure, he has the story basically laid out for part 4 and 5, but if this movie is not a success, he's not going to go forward with making the rest of them.
Oh, thank God.
He did shoot some stuff for part 4, but that's to make sure that some of the kid characters aren't aged out. So he just kind of had that as safety. This movie, if it is a success and there is going to be a part 4, I'm not excited to go see that. I will go see it in hopes that it'll be different. But I think that this was the movie that was needed in order to break the mold, and that swing wasn't taken.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's not great.
To be honest, I just felt like, okay, I can do Avatar. I don't usually do like these fantasy sci-fi movies. They're not my genre. And Avatar 2 got me, but Avatar Fire and Ash lost me.
I could say, yeah, I think so. I totally think that.
And it's not just that, but I feel like when I saw The Way of Water, I didn't see anyone getting up from their seats to go to the bathroom and concessions.
Such an amazing movie.
And with this one, like every so often, someone's walking by.
There's a lot of pee spots. So you can.
I was focused, but it was noticeable of how many people were exiting and coming back. And I'm just like, you did not come in with beverages. Mm-mm. Why are you going to the bathroom?
I've seen, like, in Endgame, Jesus, even all the 3 times I've seen it, I'm like, I have a full bladder. I will pee in my seat.
Like a good
Don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, a good movie will have you in your seat. Be like, well, I'll wait till the end of the movie to go.
What's a bummer, too, and the reason why this movie needed to exceed expectations and needed to be great is, we've said it many times, we are in this era right now where movie theater attendance are very low. So, you know, of course, it's a $400 million, a big budget movie. This needed to carry that weight to make sure that there are reasons to go to the movies.
And it's sold out.
And for sure, but I mean, like, even past the weekend, like, it needs to make a lot more money. And right now, it's not been doing that. In fact, the box office, I think, is 88. At the time I did my notes, was 88 million domestically, 343 million globally. It needs to make double. And it's not doing that. So it's looking not good.
As of right now, it's at 89.2 million.
Barely moved.
And yeah.
But what I was going to say before is, and so this little safety net that James Cameron had, or whatever distributors, was to release the Avengers Doomsday teaser trailer. Each subsequent week, there's going to be the different trailer, I think total of 4. We're in the era of the internet. It's going to get leaked, and it's not going to be a reason to go see it in the theaters.
That pissed me off so bad.
The trailer pissed you off?
No, the fact that, like, we usually skip trailers, right? Uh-huh. So I was like, I'll make the exception. I'll make the exception. I'll watch some trailers. That's great. Also gave me like a good, like, here we go. Here's what we're expecting for next year, right? Because there's also some movies that are coming out next year, new trailers and stuff. I felt like there were no new trailers.
No, not at all.
I think that's what pissed me off was like.
For the context, by the way, what she's trying to say is we got there 5 minutes before. Usually we wait the 30 minutes of trailers, so we're there as the movie starts. We sat our asses down like 5-10 minutes before any of the trailers started because we were expecting maybe they're going to have the teaser at the top of it, along with the Odyssey trailer, which
did not get it.
We did our viewing didn't have that, and so some people were even pissed.
Yeah.
In other theaters, and we're complaining about it. Yeah, we're complaining about it. So all that aside, with something like this, that it wasn't exciting to see, because I could have just rewatched Way of Water, right? I can't really confidently be like, oh, everyone needs to go rush and see this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yes, it visually looks amazing, and we saw it in 3D. It feels like we're watching a nature documentary. It's wild as hell.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, the artistry, the mechanics of it all, it's mind blowing. But we've seen that twice over, and if you're not going to pay attention to your story and all the things involved with that, you know, I'm not going to rush to say people need to see it at home, but I'm also not going to rush to tell people, wow, you really need to see it in theater. It's a chore.
I just checked the box office for 2025 to see where it is, where it lands. It is number 15 right now, currently number 15, right below Captain America: Brave New World.
That's not good at all.
And the thing is, Conjuring Last Rites did more than this one.
Yeah. So people are getting a little. I think this thing might have ran its course. I think Cameron needs to regroup and have the balls to take some chances with it. I think he needs a different team of people to go like, look, Cameron, you got all the visuals. You're good to go there. Mm-hmm. We're not going to question you on that. But let's get some people on the storytelling aspect of it. You know, let's really, here's the thing too. I don't want this franchise to end yet. I do want one more go at it because he's primed the pump. The character Quaritch is coming into himself. We have the Ash people. Those characters are extremely interesting, and a few other things. In fact, like what happened to the whole story of, like, you know, saving Earth. There's that whole thing. And can we maybe have some human characters that aren't just like, you know, we're evil for money kind of thing. Humans bad, nature good. Let's be a little more layered with that shit.
Yeah. Let's now, instead of focusing on human bad, nature good, let's focus on tribes.
Yeah, I want to see
the Ash tribe, because they kind of hinted of like why they were that way.
Oh yeah. And it was I was like, whoa, this is totally different from the nature loving Na'vi. What I also was going to say was there were a few characters and character moments and dynamics that actually became interesting. Neytiri is having some grief moments, and this is really interesting. One of the sons, obviously the living son, is having these deeply emotional moments. There's a couple of other things too. The two lead characters are having this marital argument, and let's see where that goes. All of those things quickly resolve themselves. So I was like, why even present it? You could have carried that on into something that would have been so deep and nuanced that people could have related to.
Yeah.
Instead went, okay, no, I'm just sorry. Let's have we're apologizing and let's just quickly resolve that. Also, I mean, there's a lot going on. Some of those things are really interesting. Each of those things have a different value to them, where I go, well, what the hell am I supposed to care about? I can only care about so much. Can we cut a couple of other things? I totally think it could have cut like 20-30 minutes of the movie and had a nice, tight, energetic movie with things to focus on. Because at the end, I go, I forgot what the hell to care about. I forgot what happened.
Mm-hmm. It's like, here's a little sprinkle, and here's we're closing the door on the emotional parts.
Yeah.
Then why show me the emotion?
Yeah. No, there you go. Yeah, I agree with you. It's choose a focal point and run with it.
Watch it at your own risk.
To wrap the whole thing up, I think earlier I began to say, like with Quaritch and everything like that, you have all of those things that are ready to go, and I don't want this thing shut down yet. I want to see those things expanded on. It's right fucking there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, my prediction though, I think that James Cameron might be able to convince the studios for just one more go at it.
I mean, even if it's just to like close out some stories or just finish the whole franchise, okay, cool.
Well, that being said, Cameron did say that Way of Water and Fire and Ash are, again, one movie, the way like Kill Bill is and the way that Wicked was. So, well, kind of, sort of. There wasn't like one big movie and then cut in half. But anyways, they're adjacent storylines or whatever. Like they happen right after one another. And so he then said that 4 and 5 would also serve as that. It would be 4 would take place years later, and then 5 would be immediately after that. So it'd be like, so kind of grouped off. You know what I mean? So the way that this movie ends, it does close off. It does resolve a handful of things so that it does feel like, okay, feels like an ending, but leaves a handful of other things open because, you know, more movies might happen, and that's just the way people do things nowadays.
Maybe it can happen.
Maybe, sort of. Okay, so episode ran long. Sorry about that, but we got really passionate about all the things that are good and bad about all these movies, and that means that we put a number to it, because why not? With a little segment we simply call YHSD Fresh. Every other episode, Alv and I go all back and forth on guessing the Rotten Tomato critic and audience score on the aforementioned movies, in this case, The Housemaid, Hamnet, and Avatar 3. From 0 to 100, 59 and below being rotten, 16 and above being fresh, it's Elva's turn to guess the ratings. Guess the ratings. All right, starting off with The Housemaid, what do you give it?
Personal 79, critics 75, and audience 77.
Oh, man, you actually hit the nail on the head on the critics.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 75 on the dot.
Cool. Hell yeah, 1 point for me. I'm winning.
But you guessed the audience wrong. They loved it at 92%. Yeah, weren't you there in the audience?
Yeah,
you know,
no, I was.
Cheering along with them?
But this, I rated it before I did my research. So, yeah. Hamnet.
Yes.
I give that a 95. I think critics might have given it maybe 89 and audience a 97.
Critics gave it an 86% and the audience gave it a 93%. So you're with the audience on that one. And it's, you know, that gap isn't too huge where I'm like, fucking critics, you know. I can see why maybe an 86 just for, you know, the sort of slower parts of the story.
Yeah.
But the emotion, because I think most critics are heartless, but the emotion with the audience, I think that's where that 93% lies.
I think also some people would be like, what's happening? Like, what are we doing this? What? Yeah, I get that.
And now Avatar, Fire and Ash. What do you give that movie?
A 75. Critics an 83. And I think audience, I'm going to go a little high here. An 89. Because I know there's some people that were really like, it was real good and blah, blah, but that's why.
You are correct about the audience.
Okay.
Audience is a 91%. Critics are at 68%.
I feel like I would have given it with the audience if the story was a little bit more captivating.
Captivating is a great word.
Yeah. So right now, the points have been knocked off because of the story.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm also not going to be giving it like a 60 because of all those visuals and the fighting and everything. Like, that was amazing.
I can't knock that. By the way, hold on a second. And there you go. And that's our rating, blah, blah, blah. What I want to say is the technology with Avatar 3, that is where every other fucking movie should be. Of course, they need a bigger budget and stuff like that. But like at any time a movie looks bad, just know it could look amazing. We'd have the technology. We can do it.
Yeah.
So, you know, what's everyone else's excuses? Money. All right. Anything else you want to say about all these movies?
No, I think you should check them out at your own.
Yeah, per your discretion, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, none of these movies I would say don't go see it. Obviously, some of them kind of went through it already. Some of them rush to go see it. Some of them don't rush to go see it. Other ones bring a fuck ton of tissues to go watch it.
Yeah, maybe have your therapist on call or something.
Oh, shit. For real, dude. Yeah, remember Together was the one that had, they were offering discounts for therapy?
Yeah, side note here. Like, I thought I wasn't going to feel this much because of, like, my meds. That shit went through. Like, I was like, what meds? We're not taking anything right. Cut through all that. I'm just like, nah, I felt that.
I'm feeling and I'm leaking. The Grinch. Bam. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and close this out. Let's have our New Year's drinks. I think we're still a little bit hungover from the night before.
I'm not. Just kidding.
Because you smoked a lot of marijuana.
That's fine.
I'm kidding. That's fine. It's legal. Thank you guys for joining us once again. Seriously, let's go into this New Year's strong. Let's have a lot of fun. Hit us up on social media. Tell us why you love us, or hate us, or why we're right, or why we're wrong, and what your opinions are on these movies that we talked about. Please, I love to have the conversation with you guys because I don't want to just talk with my wife with the cat listening too. He's snug on the couch. In the meantime, let us know what movies are on your growing list of films, and that's people asking you the question.
You haven't seen that?
Now, how do you say it in Navi?
Meow.